Hi guys, welcome back. Week 5 in ENV 101 Environmental Science. This week you have chapters 8 and 9. Make sure you get those read early. Jump into the discussion as soon as you can, definitely before Wednesday, and get your initial post done by Wednesday. You have the rest of the week to do the follow up with your peers. The more you post, the better your grade, so keep that in mind. So, what wildlife is most common in your area? That's kind of what I want to start kind of kicking around with. And what is the nearest locations in your area to go with? In your area to go to observe wildlife. What are your feelings towards wildlife species? What relationship between humans and wildlife do you find the most desirable? That's the first half. The second half is congratulations, you're in charge of the world. List the 3 most important features of your policies for using and managing forests, grasslands, nature reserves, such as parks and wildlife refuges, biological hotspots, the world's aquatic biodiversity, and ecosystem services. That's a lot to handle in a discussion, but that's why I want you to get in there early. For me, I live in just outside of St. Louis on the Illinois side. In Belleville, Illinois is where I live. For us, we have, obviously, if you live around Virginia, we have about the same wildlife in this area as we do over there. We are starting to get, now we don't have black bears, we're over there, we're over in Virginia, you guys have bears, West Virginia. We are starting to get a few sightings now of black bears here and there, mostly over Missouri side of the river, not really on the Illinois side. What we are starting to get, have now for about the last 20 years, are a lot more sightings of mountain lions. So we do have mountain lions that have come into the area for about the last 30 years. Rumors been, spreading around, but in the last 10 years, there have been unbelievable amounts of photography of mountain lions in this area. And proof that mountain lions are in this area. One of them was actually was found on my family farm with a litter of 3 cubs, and that's actually over in southern Illinois, from where I'm at now. Anyway, so there are some mountain lions in this area. We had a very large deer population, a very large coyote population. The coyote population took out what we used to have was a very healthy rabbit population. It's something that I have been watching since I was a little kid, was the rabbit population and the coyote population and how they coincide, which is really interesting. I used to go rabbit hunting all the time when I was a kid. Loved to go rabbit hunting. And all the way through until, I guess this had to be mid-90s, probably about when some of you guys were born. In the mid-90s, it was a tradition for my family, my brothers and I, to go rabbit hunting on Thanksgiving Day. That was part of the fun. We'd go, we'd go early in the morning, not early in the morning, but we'd go in the morning, go rabbit hunting, come home, clean up, have a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, and then watch football the rest of the day. But in the mid 90s is when, we used to get, we'd go rabbit hunting, we'd come home with 10-15 rabbits. Then in the 90s it started to slow down until finally in mid to late 90s we finally got skunked, where we didn't kick up a rabbit. So the rabbits just depleted immediately, and the reason for that was coyotes. Coyotes really started to become abundant in southern Illinois to the point where Department of Natural Resources, DNR, put a bounty out on coyotes, and it was like $25 for every hide that you would bring in of a coyote, and you can make some money that way. If you had property and you had a fairly decent rifle, you could get 2 or 3 coyotes a day. If you knew how to skin them properly, which what the Illinois was looking for, it wasn't much, and then you take that to a DNR office and they would give you $25 a pelt. Not that they were doing anything with the coyote skins, they needed to decrease the population. It was becoming totally invasive. As you can imagine, all kinds of things are affected. The deer population is affected. Rabbits were almost eliminated. But much to my happiness, the rabbits have come back. They're not near as strong as they used to be, but we see a lot more rabbits now than we have in years and years and years. So the population of the rabbits are starting to come back. The coyotes are declining, and so it's good to see that balance back out again. So um, maybe the coyotes moved on, maybe we thinned them out enough. I don't know what the deal is, but with that, now we have more. Now we have the decline of the coyotes is now brought mountain lions. I guess I don't know if that's what brought mountain lions in, but mountain lions only go, like a lot of species, will only go where there's food, and so there's more food now. I guess for mountain lions, that's why they're coming in. So that being said, maybe in 20, 30 years there'll be a bounty on mountain lions. Who knows? So there is a cool thing. I will say here in close to St. Louis, just right, literally 20 minutes from St. Louis, from downtown, is Godfrey, Illinois. If you look on a map, you'll see just north of St. Louis is Godfrey. Godfrey, in the wintertime, houses thousands and thousands of bald eagles. It's so cool. Every year, people come in from all around the country to watch the bald eagles right on the Mississippi. And that's where Godfrey is. It's right on the Mississippi. But they seem to like that conversion of the Illinois and the Mississippi River. They come together at that point, and that's where all the eagles like to accumulate. But they spread out from there. I'm 30 minutes away from there, and we see eagles here frequently. Matter of fact, just this last week I was up in that area, and I was watching 2 eagles over in Edwardsville, on the other side of Edwardsville. It was East Edwardsville. And I'm watching these 2 eagles just circle around up in the sky lazily. Just beautiful bald eagles circling around, which is so cool for us. I mean, I'm grateful that we have that. I'd hate to see anything happen to those eagles. So anyway, that's what we're going to kick around in the discussion. So let's not forget that. We've got that going on. We have got, let's see here. Besides that, like I said, you got chapters 8 and 9. Make sure you read through those PowerPoints. You have a quiz that is due this Friday. Other than that, it should be a pretty easy week. If you got any questions, let me know. I want to try to help you out as much as possible. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Stay in touch, and let's have a great week.